In the sun-scorched fertile lands of Mesopotamia, the delicate line between life and death was dictated by the unforgiving and unpredictable forces of nature for thousands of years. The life-giving waters of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers could turn barren fields green one day, only to transform into a devastating flood the next. The sky could shine with tranquil brilliance, then suddenly darken, battering the earth with deafening thunder. In this harsh and majestic geography, where humanity took its very first steps, the Sumerians turned their faces to the heavens and the mountains to make sense of this untamable power. There they saw the mighty lords of storms, war, destruction, and miraculously rebirth. Welcome to In the Shadow of Myths. Today we step into the dark and magnificent world of two of the most terrifying, dynamic, and earth-shattering figures of the Sumerian pantheon. The champion of the gods, the invincible son of the storm god Enlil, the god of war and hunting, Ninurta, and the roar of the firmament, the absolute ruler of storms and rain, Ishkur, also known as Adad. These two deities represent not only war and destruction, but also the purest essence of abundance, ensuring the survival of order and civilization born from chaos. Now we begin our journey back to those ancient ages, an era that made even the gods tremble. The invincible champion of the gods, Ninurta. When we speak of absolute power in Sumerian mythology, one of the first names that comes to mind is Ninurta. He is the son of Enlil, the chief deity of the pantheon and lord of the wind and storms, and the goddess Ninlil. The tempestuous nature he inherited from his father made him the supreme commander of the divine armies, the relentless enemy of any chaotic force threatening the universal order. Ninurta is no ordinary god of war. He is not a blind shedder of blood, but the sword of cosmic justice and divine order. In Sumerian texts, he is frequently depicted with his legendary weapon, Sharur. Sharur is no ordinary mace, it is a conscious divine weapon capable of speech, tracking enemies, flying, and offering tactical advice to its master. The epics of Ninurta and Sharur form some of the most magnificent literary works of Mesopotamia. The theft of the tablets of destiny and the Great War. The greatest test of Ninurta's power occurs on that dark day when the tablets of destiny, which maintain the control of the universe, are stolen. According to Sumerian belief, these tablets, which determine the fate of everything, are under the watchful eye of Enlil, the father of the gods. However, a massive and terrifying monster bird named Anzu, half lion and half eagle, steals these tablets while Enlil is bathing. The one who holds the tablets of destiny gains the power to be the absolute ruler of the universe. When Anzu steals the tablets, the laws of the universe instantly collapse, the gods are struck with terror, and a profound silence falls over the heavens. No god dares to stand against Anzu. In this moment of absolute despair, Ninurta steps forward. With the help of his talking mace Sharur, he hunts down the Anzu bird. A legendary battle ensues, lasting for days in the skies and on the mountain peaks, amidst flashing lightning and raging storms. Ninurta rains arrows upon Anzu, but Anzu uses the power of the tablets of destiny to turn back time, causing the arrows to scatter and return to their bows. Realizing that the battle cannot be won through brute force alone, Ninurta uses his intellect and divine tactics, catching Anzu in a moment of weakness and defeating him. By returning the tablets of destiny to his father Enlil, he restores the universal order, the divine laws known as the Mi. This victory makes Ninurta not just a warrior, but the savior of all civilization. Order born from chaos and the origins of agriculture. Another unique aspect of Ninurta is his direct association not only with war, but also with agriculture. In the famous Sumerian epic Lugali, Ninurta battles a terrifying stone demon named Asag, who causes diseases and droughts. Asag raises an army of rocks and stones, threatening the world. After Ninurta destroys this colossal demon, he uses the scattered stones and rocks from the battlefield to build the mountains of the world. Thanks to these mountains, the melting snows and wild waters of the spring are directed into the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Thus, instead of flooding and destroying the fields, the waters begin to give life to the crops through a network of canals. A lethal god of war transforms into a god of agriculture and abundance who tills the soil, irrigates the fields, and teaches farmers about the plow and farming. For the Sumerians, war and agriculture were not separate concepts. Working the land was a war fought against the chaotic forces of nature, and the champion of this war was Ninurta. He was the ultimate protector of the plow and the harvest. The roar of the firmament Ishkur and the two faces of abundance. While Ninurta ruled the wars and mountains on earth, the eerie and thundering kingdom of the sky belonged to Ishkur, more widely known by his Akkadian name Adad. Ishkur was the god of storms, rain, lightning, and hurricanes. The cracked earth under the scorching Mesopotamian sun desperately needed Ishkur's grace, those life-giving drops falling from the clouds. However, Ishkur by his very nature represented a deeply unpredictable power. Much like the mythical bull he rode, he could be both the source of life and the absolute embodiment of destruction. In ancient art, he was usually depicted standing on a massive roaring bull, holding a bundle of lightning in one hand and an axe or mace to control the storm clouds in the other. The bull was the ultimate symbol of Ishkur's power, his booming voice and his fertility. Thunder was considered the sound of his storm monsters pulling his chariot, or the bellowing of his colossal bull. To the farmers, Ishkur was the generous father of the sky. He sent the sweet spring rains that ended droughts and made the crops grow tall. When the Sumerians prayed to him, they used titles like the grower of plants or the lord of abundance. Yet when Ishkur grew angry, the sky would be covered with pitch-black clouds, and his lightning would turn night into day. His wrath meant violent hurricanes that uprooted crops, hailstorms that shattered homes, and lethal floods that wiped entire cities off the map. Ishkur used his storms as a weapon of punishment against injustice and oath-breakers. In the ancient texts, he was referred to as the one who plunges the enemy land into darkness and the one who blows the destructive winds. In this aspect, he did not fight with swords or maces like Ninurta, but with the wildest, purest elements of nature itself. This delicate connection between the two gods perfectly reflects the worldview of the Mesopotamian people. While Ninurta was the god of human intellect, strategy, and the struggle of civilization against nature, the taming of the earth to harvest its crops, Ishkur was the untamable, immense divine power itself, which could only be respected and appeased. The survival of humanity depended on Ninurta's plow and Ishkur's rains, but equally on being protected from the wrath of both. The thunderclaps echoing from millennia ago and the clashing of swords on ancient battlefields can still be heard between the lines of these myths today. The courage of Ninurta and the roar of Ishkur are, in fact, the most epic reflections of humanity's endless struggle with nature and its own existence. Looking up at the sky, ancient humans shaped their fears and hopes into these majestic figures. Thank you for swimming with us in these deep and stormy waters of Sumerian mythology. We will continue to explore the untold stories of the myths, gods, and heroes that have shaped the collective memory of humanity. To illuminate the dark secrets of ancient worlds and embark on brand new mythological journeys, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the In the Shadow of Myths channel. Stay guided by light and wisdom, and we will see you in the next legend. Goodbye.